What's the one thing from the artist that you wish would have been bigger?
John Goodman.
I was going to say the exact same.
Oh, I was going to say the lead actress. I thought that she was fantastic.
I thought this was all silent.
Ooh, that would be really funny if we did a whole... the whole list is silent.
Number 10.
It just, pops up and we just talk and then you show a picture of what we're talking about.
And then a thumbs up.
Not doing that. Sorry.
Let's do it as a bit.
No. Hello, everyone. Top 10 of 2011. We're in the 10s.
One year into it.
We've technically already established what were the best movies of the 10s in a previous video.
Yeah, but we're going to reassess.
We're redoing it just like we're redoing a couple other videos that we did during the pandemic. So
yeah.
Well, we were struggling. We were all just trying to figure out.
That's evident in our hair.
Did you ever, sorry, this is a random thing. Did you ever just think like, are we going to keep doing this? Was there ever a moment where you're like, maybe we should just stop?
Until they tell us to stop, I'm not stopping.
Yeah, I'm thinking that right now.
Yeah.
They just don't know. They don't know that we're...
They don't know or care. So
yeah, no one watches these.
But before we get to the top 10, just want to shout out a couple of movies that did not make the list. Mm-hmm. Contagion, which everyone talked about.
These are the movies that were on your list that didn't make the list.
No, just Contagion and Bernie and Warrior and Rango. I put Cabin of the Woods wasn't on any of our lists.
What was the one that's on my list that I didn't get?
I don't know. Did you write this card? Did you write this card? Okay.
I just want
bring your own card.
I'm just upset that I can't remember what was on my list.
That's why I bring the card.
Dang it.
Thank goodness for that.
I can't look like idiots with cards just sitting here looking at cards.
Well, we're gonna for our best of 80s episode.
You look like
so I got
this chaos.
Blue Beetle.
Who's in charge here?
All right, number 10, Martin Scorsese's Hugo, which is his one and only kids movie.
Mm-hmm. And it was in the height of the everything's 3D again. And so like you watch it now and like, why are we watching like the opening shot is like going through a train station. It seems weird, but
it's his first digital film movie.
That too. But it's a movie about movies.
Halfway through, I get a little bit more into it, but to say it's a children's movie feels a little crazy that like, hey kids, you know what kids love? The silent movie era,
silent movies,
and the beginning of filmmaking, and Journey to the Moon.
But it's a love letter to movie making.
It's a love letter to movie making.
A big homage to Pinocchio in it.
Scorsese.
Hugo, watch it.
Hugo, watch it now.
Whenever you can.
Hugo, on to the next movie on the list. Number 9, we have 50-50, the Seth Rogen and Joseph Gordon-Levitt cancer movie. It's based on a true story. The guy that wrote it got cancer, and then he wrote a movie about it.
Well, and it was Seth Rogen just plays himself.
Yes.
Because he is the best friend of the guy who wrote the movie.
Yeah.
And I know it's not like the best movie made, but it is. I think it's a really great, and this was what you were listening to. It's a great kind of like dramatic comedy that they don't make too often anymore. But man, I this movie makes me cry like so hard.
It was like the last of its era.
Yeah.
So, it really was. And then it's just like an emotional gut punch, and it makes you laugh and cry. Seth Rogen, it was like the beginning of Seth Rogen. He does it sometimes. He dabbles in drama, and he's really good in this.
Yep. Anna Kendrick is good. Even Bryce Dallas Howard is good.
Yeah.
And then when you're going to end a whole movie on one of the weirdest and greatest songs ever made, Yellow Ledbetter by Pearl Jam.
Number 8, Take Shelter. Jeff Nichols.
I thought you were gonna zag there, but you just kept going.
I zigged instead of zagging.
You did.
Michael Shannon and Jessica Chastain it's mostly a Michael Shannon movie, but the performances are just and the kid too, just really good. Yeah. It was my first Jeff Nichols movies I ever watched. I didn't watch Shotgun Stories first, but it's just like. It's so clear why he's cast in every single movie ever now.
Shannon, yeah. Do you think this you would say this is more of a Shannon picture versus like a Nichols picture?
Yes, it definitely. Yeah. If you're watching this movie randomly on a Sunday night and it's on cable, you're not going to be like, "Oh, this is a Jeff Nichols movie." You're going to be like, "This is a Michael Shannon movie."
I do think that this kind of sets the template that Nichols does like a lot, where it feels very. The dude is from Arkansas, shout out, from Little Rock. But like he's got this, like he's telling like Southern type stories, but also kind of mining things. I mean, this is very like similar to like a Noah story, you know, like this kind of like, and it just kind of, he loves like literature. He loves like Southern stories. He loves that kind of like retelling of things. And I think like this was the beginning. I know Shotgun Stories is good, but like this is kind of that beginning of like, hey, I'm Jeff Nichols and I like movies. I know Chastain had been around, but like this is really kind of the beginning of Chastain just
getting every role.
Soaring. Yeah. And Shannon too, but Shannon's been around since Groundhog Day, so
I know, but he didn't.
But this is the beginning of like Shannon blows up for
the Shannon Sassons.
Yeah, the Shannon Sassons, and it's still going. Put Shannon in everything.
He's in Groundhog Day.
Yes.
Oh. He's the WrestleMania guy.
Oh my god! I had no idea. That's cool.
Number 7, we need to talk about Kevin.
Kevin, man, what a great! Honestly, like I was looking at this year, and I'm like, just not a lot of great like banger movies, but like there's a lot of good, really great kind of indie, character-driven movies that, and we need to talk about. Kevin is one of them. Tilda Swinton and John C. Reilly. They are the parents of a boy named Kevin, who is played by a young Ezra Miller, and played by 3 different actors. But Ezra Miller is Kevin is a high schooler. It starts out with a school tragedy that Kevin is responsible for. And it kind of goes back and forth about, can you see where like those seeds were planted, or like was something always there? It's a story.
It's a heavy movie.
It's a very heavy movie. The performances are incredible. And it's Lynn Ramsey. It looks awesome. It's great, and it really plays with this idea of like nature and nurture, and is someone just inherently evil, or do they learn that kind of stuff?
Number 6, we got Shame on here. Steve McQueen's, I guess, the first real big movie that everyone in America, not to be confused with the old Steve McQueen. This is the British Steve McQueen. Yep. But I don't know.
Steve McQueen with glasses.
Shame is about a guy with a sex addiction played by Michael Fassbender. It's got a couple other actors in it.
Carey Mulligan's in it.
Carey Mulligan, and it's just again another character-driven movie.
Yeah.
The plot is not really integral to anything, and it's just him sort of just vibing out with his sex addiction. It's more complicated than that.
Yeah.
But he basically is like doesn't try to fix it. Is most of the movie.
Huh.
Yeah.
And he's dealing with it. He understands he has it. But he's also like, but I'm still just going to...
And how it kind of like impacts his relationship with others and whatnot. So it's a movie I've never watched again.
Yeah.
But
it's very heavy
it's worth a watch. So
don't go back to back with these 2 movies.
Don't go back to back. And also like be kind of choosy who you're watching Shame with. That's all I'm going to say.
There's a lot of male nudity.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So your grandma...
Yeah. Sorry.
Definitely watch it with her.
Watch it.
Sounds like a great time.
We have Zach's favorite movie of all time ever in existence that's ever existed, because he won't ever shut up about this movie.
Social Network?
We have Bridesmaids.
Oh, Bridesmaids, yes. Oh, man, this movie is so good. It blows my mind that it was nominated for screenplay. Like, that makes me so happy. It's Kristen Wiig's first, like, big foray into movies. After I think she was still on SNL at the time. But it's like if Judd Apatow... there was a Judd Apatow produced comedy, but it's just as filthy as all of his movies, exclusively female driven, and it's just so funny. Like this movie's gonna be timeless. Introduced us to Melissa McCarthy, and she was also nominated for an Oscar for this movie.
There are Gilmore Girls fans who are gonna come after us now.
Is she in that? Oh, I
don't think the overlap for our audience is
probably not. It's there. It's there.
Okay.
Anyway, I think it's a fine movie. It's just not my like. I need to go rewatch it, but also it's just not my thing. I'm just not a.
But you know what is JD's thing? Number 4, Attack the Block.
Yes. Attack the Block rules.
It's so cool.
It is. And it's short too.
Yes, and don't go in it with don't watch anything.
Yeah.
Don't listen to us. Put us on mute and then come back for number 3.
It's Attack the Block, kind of like the I remember when I first saw the preview, this was gonna be like Edgar Wright had like raved about this movie because it's Joe Cornish, his friend, and it's just a fun sci-fi British. It's not deep, but it is. It's got themes in there that you know. Set in.
I want to see this. You said
set in a British kind of apartment tower. But John Boyega, introduction to John Boyega.
Yes, his first big role.
John Boyega.
So, pre-Star Wars. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, very pre-Star Wars.
This is the role that he gets casted based off of for Star Wars.
Yeah, cool.
It's a cool movie. It's maybe the coolest movie on the list, but
I don't know. Moneyball
it just drips
cool.
with cool. It drips with cool.
You want to talk about cool? Number 3, Moneyball.
Yeah.
A movie about talking about baseball.
And dads.
Dads and baseball and money.
You know what's cooler than aliens? Dads.
Talking about baseball.
And money. And
stats.
Yes.
Lots of data-driven
it's
stats.
specific.
Philip Seymour Hoffman in tight pants.
Oh, what's not to love?
I mean, that is the epitome of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No beard Hoffman.
Just angry and grumpy the whole movie.
Like still
He's
kind
underpaid.
of a schlubby Chris Pratt, doing his thing.
Yeah, it's about basically the data-driven science of how to win baseball games.
Yeah.
And then he didn't win.
And then he didn't win, but the Red Sox used the exact same thing to win their first title in like 108 years.
Yes. Yep.
So, Brad Pitt playing Billy Bean.
Jonah Hill is a fake person, but he's great in this.
Mm-hmm.
And Sorkin wrote it, and it's very evident. And Bennett Miller, it was his second movie.
Mm-hmm.
He did Capote and then this. And
what was the other one he did? We talked about this.
Foxcatcher.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I think that was his last one.
What a turn!
Like 3 great movies, and he hasn't made anything since. I love this movie so much. I think it's one of the best sports movies in general, in my opinion.
I think some sports movies are good
when they're not about sports.
When they're not about sports. Yeah. Remember, The Titans is not really about football.
Yeah,
it's about like brotherhood and finding your family and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So,
and this is follow your dreams / believe in the underdog and / go with the times, like change as the times. Yeah, adapt or die. That's like the big thing.
Be a good dad.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true, yeah.
And adapt or die, baseball still hasn't learned the lesson.
Shout out for making a movie interesting that not only takes, I like watching baseball. I like baseball. But what could be argued as one of the most boring sports to watch and one of the most boring school subjects. And like, what if they had a movie together and you should watch it and you're like, a baseball math movie? Okay.
Sign me
up. It's actually pretty good. It's not
and
bad.
It's great.
I like it.
Number 2, documentary, Jiro Dreams of Sushi. This is just, from beginning to end, the cutest and greatest documentary you'll ever see. But also it has drama. Because Jiro doesn't want to retire, but at the same time, he teaches his kids to do sushi, and then they break off and do their own things. And the way it's shot, it just makes you just want to eat all the sushi in the world.
It looks so good. Like it's just a well-made story and go on.
Oh, I was gonna say this is one that when you were talking, this is one I know I've never seen, and I know it's just a massive blind spot.
Yeah.
And so as soon as you guys put it on the list, I'm like, I still have not seen that movie that everyone raves about. And
I have the poster at home. I should have bought it
with myself.
It's such a good document. It's one of those where like. If you're not a documentary fan, I don't understand you, but it's so entertaining, and you root for everybody, and it just makes you hungry. And it's also like I think about the just the drive of that guy all the time.
Documentaries don't always have to be about serious stuff. Mm-hmm. They can have fun too. So
and that's this.
And I think Netflix is one of the few places that you can find those types of documentaries. You can find true crime, obviously, but you can find all the other ones too. Number 1, Film Bros are in heaven for this one.
We did it, guys.
I don't think any of us would put it as the best movie of 2011, but when you rank 3 lists together, it got off on top. Nicholas Winding Refn's Drive, which basically put Ryan Gosling on the scene as like the dude that you want to fully commit to a role.
Yeah.
He'd obviously had done that already, but Drive, he speaks like maybe 25 words.
Yeah.
And he's the coolest customer you'll ever meet. Every dude in college at the time tried to buy a Scorpion jacket.
And the poster. And that song that I forget the name of.
Have I looked? It's called Night Call.
That's it.
And have I maybe looked at Amazon for a Scorpion jacket? Maybe.
Look, if you were a white male in 2011 in college, You definitely you typed in scorpion jacket Amazon.
Yeah.
And it came up.
Yeah. Now listen.
Then you didn't buy it. You didn't buy it.
You never bought it because it was like way too much money.
$100.
And two, you're like, does it really match anything else I'm going to wear?
And the answer
can I pull it off? And the answer is 100% no. Gosling, I think, is kind of, he starts to kind of be in that era of like, I'm committing to directors and not, I'll do other fun stuff, but like I'm about making great movies with great people and not just like, yeah, I'll do whatever. But the cast is also, the other cast members, you've got Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
You've
just
got
a slimy
before he's like takes off.
Yeah.
You have Bryan Cranston, who is like middle of Breaking Bad at this point.
Yeah.
I can't believe he did it.
Ron Perlman.
Christian Hendricks.
Carey
Mulligan.
Oh, that's right, Carey Mulligan. Man, what a year for Carey Mulligan.
Yeah.
It's creepy. It's the creepiest Gosling. I'm not gonna lie. Like, as someone, I will step away from that film bro like role, and I'll say, listen, I'm not a huge fan of other reffing. Like, I just think there's something so special and so like lightning in a bottle with drive that like I think they try to replicate a couple more times and it just doesn't work.
If the opening scene doesn't get you hooked, then you need to turn the movie off.
I don't know how it wouldn't hook you.
Well, if every other scene doesn't get you hooked, I mean, it's like so good. The mask, the hammer.
Yeah, and I don't understand people who say this is style over substance. Like it's really cool, but there's the scene in particular that I love is whenever the guy goes into to rob. Is it a bank, restaurant?
It's like a
store. He robs something, and you hear nothing. You're just like sitting with Ryan Gosling, and then like you see the car pull up. It's such a well-made scene, but then other people are like, "Well, there's not a lot going on in that movie."
But he's like gripping the.
Yeah, like just there's like 5 minutes of silence, but
But before we end this video, also the scene with Bryan Cranston and Albert Brooks, where he goes to shake his hand and instead
hands are dirty.
Oof,
my hands are dirty. So are mine. Oh my gosh,
such a good.
Listen, when he walks up in Ron Perlman's party.
Oh yeah.
And he walks up to the door and he's got the mask on.
It's just a great movie.
I love it.
It's great.
I'm gonna go buy Scorpion Jacket. I'm just
don't do it.
12 years. Like, it's been 12 years. I think I can pull it off.